me, Michael Mouse. I'm going by my full name today because today I'm being a professional mouse. That's right, Michael's going to be playing a bit of a therapist. Michael asked you guys what kinds of dilemmas you were having to give you little bits of advice that may be mystery mouse cause because Michael loves to help out his special pals. So why don't we get right into it? Oh boy, here is our first message. Obviously, I'll be keeping all these anonymous, so let's read the first one. So basically, I'm talking to two guys at once right now, but I actually don't like both of them low-key, but I still want to talk to them. Like, is that crazy to say? To me, to Michael, it sounds like you like a little bit of attention. I think there's a fine line between having a little fun, getting a little validation, and leading somebody on a little bit too much. So Michael would advise that you don't necessarily fully lead them on, but Michael understands the whole attention thing. I mean, I have a clubhouse in the shape of my head. So, you know, if we're talking about attention-seeking behaviors, I am definitely a mouse that likes to partake in those. So I would say, how about we bask in some of that attention, but not too much to where we would hurt one of our pals. Okay, next submission. Should I get my nipples pierced on my birthday for half off, $50 for both, since they closed during my tonsillectomy? Because low-key, I miss them, but also I don't. But now also, I know that the holes will just close like when I'm ready to breastfeed or something. I don't know. I need advice. I don't think Minnie Mouse has had anything like that. However, if we're talking about Michael's personal opinion, $50 for both, like $25 each, that sounds like a steal. I think it's an economically reasonable purchase. Maybe sit on the decision for a little bit. Really think about all the sensations that come with getting a piercing like that. Maybe make a pros and cons list. After that, see if the pros outweigh the cons. Next submission. I ended a long relationship and prayed for her to find a better one, but now that she has one, I feel sad. There's this saying that has gone around that's like, be careful what you wish for. I think this is a situation where you might have needed to be a little bit more careful with what you wish for. If you were the one that ended the relationship, you prayed that she would get a better fitting pal. I think maybe you just want a pal that's better fit for you. So I would say there are plenty of pals in this world ready to welcome you with open arms. Next submission. I need advice on how to force my brother to flush the toilet instead of leaving pee or poo in the dang toilet. Thanks. You're welcome. First of all, there are a couple things that Michael thinks of as solutions here. You could leave a sticky note on the toilet that says, hey, looky here, pal, time to flush. Just like that, 3 separate lines. You could install an automatic toilet flusher. Mickey Mouse has one in his clubhouse. It really wasn't that expensive, but I'm obviously very loaded, so I understand if, you know, money's a little tight right now. Maybe every time your brother goes to the bathroom, you knock on that door and you say, hey pal, you better flush that toilet and make Michael Mouse really proud. And if he doesn't flush at that point, then maybe we can escalate the situation and talk to the parents about it. Because I think that's more of like a parenting issue, a habit that they should have instilled in your brother. So try those things and I hope that helps. Here's another one. Basically, there's this person I swore I didn't like. Like, I was convinced. I just thought they were annoying. But then I started noticing little things like, why do I know their schedule? Why do I check if they're in school before I even care about my own classes? Why did I get mad when they didn't say hi to me one time? Anyway, fast forward to last week, I find out they might be talking to someone else. And tell me why I felt personally betrayed. Like, we are not together. We have never been together. We barely even text. I'm gonna give it to you straight. You got a crush on this person, except that you like this person and kind of feel out the vibe. How does your pal look at you? What is their body language towards you? Maybe you could text them more. And then eventually working up to being transparent with this person might be good. I mean, Minnie and I are married. We have been for a long time. And with that comes honesty, transparency, trust, in order for us to be the best pals. So in your case, I say drop the game, start being a little nice, see where you and your pal take take your relationship. Next submission. There's this guy from uni. He once liked my profile on a dating app, called me cute, pretty, offered a ride on his motorcycle, offered to give me a drink, just to then go, in case it wasn't clear, my intent is just friendship. Which, like, fine, okay, mixed signals, but we move on. Only for him to ghost me afterward. And in uni, he's just as much of a ghost. Basically a tourist, only showing up every once in a while. And even when he does show up, he just leaves in the middle of class. Pause. This guy sounds like a f***ing loser. But let's move on. One time, he even left class to smoke weed outside. Point being, not a fan of fake people. But here's the plot twist. This Friday, we were at a party. My friend told me he wanted to hook up with me. The guy who rejected me, right? She said that if he wanted to, he'd need to make the first move. And he did. The kissing was mostly whatever, not like I'm super experienced anyways. But he was so caring and gentle, like pulling me closer, holding the back of my head, caressing me, even smiling while kissing me. Then he even kissed me goodbye that night and told me to text him. So I'm like, I did text him and it seems like he wants to continue this, but then again, I don't even like him that much. Sure, he's hot, but still, girl, help. Good thing Michael Mouse is here. Thank you for all of this tea, first of all. He doesn't go to school that often, so we're not sure how smart he really is. He's on a dating app, but then he says, in case it wasn't clear, my intent is just friendship. So I'm not sure how that really happened. Let me give it to you straight. There's a casual pile, and there's a real relationship potential pile. I think he's kind of going towards the casual pile here. Okay, I don't want you to be stuck in a situation where this guy's really hot, but you start a relationship with him and he kind of drags you down, right? Michael is not a fan of that. Minnie and I are honestly really good at bringing out the best in each other. We challenge each other. We're always there for one another. We're present with each other emotionally and physically. And I just want to be sure that this dude is able to give you that. So if he is, great. But Michael's judgment is kind of leading towards this as a casual thing. Next submission. How to cope with living with ex who has her new partner coming over to our house every day. Bruh. Can't move out yet because I can't afford, so I need to cope until I move out. Well, I actually witnessed a really similar situation. It was between Donald and Daisy. They were separated for a period of time. And one of Goofy's friends would always come over and talk to Daisy, and they would play board games together and have a great time. And I told Donald, I said, look, man, it's gonna be hard. Your partner who you once loved is not that role in your life anymore. You gotta process this. You gotta journal about it. You gotta talk about your feelings, how pushed away you feel, how betrayed you feel. Because really, Daisy Doc, she's gonna do what she wants. But I would advise for you to just kind of sit with this pain for a little bit. But I said to Donald, I said, if Daisy's gonna be the kind of doc that brings all the friends over to the house and hangs out with all of them, even though she knows it makes you upset, was she really the right doc for you? And eventually they did end up back together, so that's good for them. But at the time, Daisy was not being a very good doc. I assume your partner has the option to go to other people's houses. I do feel like she's kind of trying to rub it in a little bit, but you know what? Michael says, do it back. I don't care if you're not ready to date right now. You gotta get on Tinder. You gotta get on Hinge. You gotta bring girls over in return so that it just looks like one big party. There's this saying that goes, you go low, I go lower. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that's an option. Next submission. All right, this one's intense, so let me lock in. Bro, I need to know how to tell my PE teacher to stop being the most annoying dude ever. This dude goes to lengths to make me feel worn out. He tells the entire gosh darn school that I can't do anything in his class and uses me as an example of the kid that can't do anything. Mind you, I'm perfectly healthy and nothing's really wrong with me except that I probably have mental mental issues and I have terrible stamina. Please send help. Love you, Queenie. I would say you need to report this to your higher ups. You need to escalate this. You need to report it to corporate. You need to report it to HR. Who's the head honcho? You gotta corner him. You gotta tell him how this PE teacher is making you feel. This is unacceptable for a teacher to say about another student. A teacher should be treating every student like a pal. If we're not treating everybody like pals, we're not doing it right, okay? So I want you to storm up to that head honcho and I want you to corner him and I want you to say, I need to talk about something that's bothering me because I need resources. And apparently, the teachers that I thought I could trust are not being good pals. My mouse school that I went to had an anonymous tip line where we could talk crap about the other mice and the other teacher mice that maybe weren't being so nice. I never really used that because I was popular, but I would say if you've got that, use that. If not, I hope your school has good counselors, principals, mentors in order to help support you. Screw that PE teacher. Let's move on. I need advice on a job for when I'm older. I don't know what I want to do. I want to do something creative. I don't really care if the pay isn't good. I don't know how old you are, but no matter how old you are, I think that any time is a great time to explore. I want you to make a list of everything that you could possibly be interested in. Write it all down. Pick one thing. Try it. See how you feel about it. Does it feel fun? If it doesn't, cross it off and move on. And you can always come back to the ones that you crossed off, but even just trying and having new experiences will help you become a better mouse and find a job that will allow you to be creative and expressive and yourself. We as mice are really scared to make the wrong decision. We're scared that there's something better, or maybe we're not good enough, or it's gonna take forever to get good at said thing. But I think that trying is one of the best things you can do. Trial and error is very good. So just try something. Okay? Next submission. How do I stop crying at night because I'm a short, soft guy who girls keep overlooking and humiliating? In parentheses, I'm also a competing powerlifter before anyone says try working out. Make this anonymous, please. From one short king to another, I understand how you feel. All the men in my clubhouse are taller than me. Donald Duck, Goofy, all the other ones, they've all got the height. And sometimes I get a little insecure, but then I think about it and I'm like, Donald Duck and Goofy are living under my roof in the shape of my head. So who's the alpha? Who's the alpha? You're living under my roof. I'm paying your bills and I'm cooking you dinner and I'm making sure that you get fed and have a bed and a room. You better not call me short because I'll kick you out of my clubhouse. So in that vein, I think that you need something that makes you feel powerful. I think that there is power in being a short king. Really, I know some girls that care about height, but some girls just completely forget about it if you're a good person. Okay, if you've got that riz, if you've got that mouse in you. So whatever you can do to make yourself feel like you got that mouse in you, do it. From one short king to another, okay? Is it possible to get a girl that doesn't like you to like you? I think if she doesn't like you for who you are, there's no point in trying to convince her. And that goes for anybody. That goes for any mouse. You want to find some mouse that loves you for everything that you are. So don't try to change yourself for somebody else. Just be yourself, okay? So, about this, I was with my boyfriend and I was hugging his, and I took his hand and we walked because we were at a park and he was behind me and I was wearing those loose shorts and I farted and my tampon shot out and landed on his foot. Mind you, it was not a fresh tampon. He broke up with me. How do I get him back? First of all, I refuse to believe that this is a real story, okay? But I'm leaving this in on the off chance that it is. Your boyfriend was not a real one, okay? The right person will never leave you off of an uncontrollable body function. It is not your fault that your tampon fell out after you farted. Don't let anybody tell you that it was your fault. If he's really so grossed out by natural bodily functions, imagine what he'd be like someday if you were to be in labor, if you were old and you shit the bed, an accident. Would he clean it up? When we're looking for men, we should be asking ourselves this question. If I farted and my tampon shot out and landed on his foot, would he break up with me? If the answer is yes, you gotta leave. Period. Period. Literally period. That's That's all Michael has to say. Every time I go to school, a girl starts following me everywhere, and I hate her so much, but she thinks we're friends, and I don't know what to do, but this has been going on since October. Well, that sounds exhausting. You know, this is a tough situation because you don't want to be rude, right? If you like pass her and she starts talking to you and you don't really want to talk to her, maybe you could just say, hey, I just got a text from my pal. I gotta go respond, but see ya. I think I would also sit with yourself and be like, why do I hate her? Like, what is it about her that makes me hate her so much? You know, maybe she's just really lonely. And I don't think that that's your job to solve it, but I would say maybe you can play matchmaker and find another friend for her and set them up so that she follows that person everywhere. Delegate that task of communicating with her to another person. Next question. Hi, I love your videos. I was on my dad's phone finding photos for a school project. I was almost done when a text popped up from somebody named Tiffany. And that is not my mom's name. My mom's name is Colleen. I clicked on the text and started reading through their messages, and there were more heart emojis than words. My mom has no clue he is cheating, and my dad has no clue I know. Do I do the right thing or ask for money from my dad to keep it a secret? Anyways, thanks for reading. So your dad sounds like an I think what you should do is first ask him for money, a large sum. He's gonna pay that to you because he feels guilty. Then take the money, put it in cash, hide it in a safe. Then also, after that, tell your mom, keep the cash, and when your dad gets mad at you for telling on him, be like, well, you shouldn't have been a cheater because now I have to have 2 separate Christmases and 2 separate birthdays, and that's not fun. And your dad will have nothing to say to that, and if he does, him. Next question! What do genuinely do when a kid 1 year younger than me rage baits me on purpose without me looking like I actually got rage baited? As I said earlier, you go low, I go lower. You gotta rage bait this kid even more. Here are some examples. He says something. What? What'd you say? Oh, I couldn't hear you. Yacht, Phantom, Tabs, Rizzler, 67676767. I'm the Rizzler, I'm the Rizzler, I'm the Rizzler, I'm the Rizzler. I'm the Alpha, I'm the Alpha. You're younger than me. You're younger than me. I'm the Alpha, I'm the Alpha. I'm the leader of the pack. Those are some examples that you could use to rage bait back so that the younger one shuts up. I was playing Truth or Dare with my friend and she said, have an argument with a random object. And I did. I argued with it for about 5 minutes and it got tough. So I put the deodorant thing in my mouth and like my mouth is huge so it fit. And then the cap came off and deodorant got in my mouth and then I tried to get it out but it wouldn't move. So, did you get it out? Is it still in there? I hope you got it out. And I guess my advice would be, don't do that. Next. My slightly unhinged situation is that my friends won't stop poking me. Yep, that's right. It's basically an ongoing tickle war that never ends. And at first it was a joke, but now it's all the time at school. It's unfair as well because it's 3 against me and I obviously get revenge, but I need advice on how to stop it or stand my ground and fight back. Sorry if this is an odd one. Have a great week. Thank you. So you need to make the biggest scene and make them feel so embarrassed that they don't do it again. Like if they're poking you in the hallway, you need to say, they're beating me up, they're beating me up, they're beating me up, they're touching me, they're touching me, help! And of course, then you will get somebody's attention. They will tell them to stop, they'll probably get suspended, they'll get a detention, whatever. You will live happily ever after because they will feel so embarrassed. I think standing your ground by making them feel really embarrassed is a great idea. Maybe even make them a little uncomfortable by being like, wow, y'all love to touch me.
Huh?
Wow, y'all love to poke me. That's a little weird. You know, pointing out the weirdness of the situation might make them feel a little ashamed of their behavior. Okay? All right, well, that is all the advice that Mickey Mouse has for you, pals. I hope you can take the mystery muscatels that I shared with you and apply them to your everyday life. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe. Turn on that post notification bell so that you can get notified every single time I post. With that said, I love you guys so much and I will see you guys next time. All right, bye guys.